This one's from ESPN, ranking the NFL's best coaching staffs for 2024, and they look at the head coach and then the coordinators as well. So one, they have the Chiefs, which is Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, Steve Spagnuolo. 2, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. That's kind of high for a team. I know they were in the NFC Championship game. Can they do it again? 3, they got the Rams, McVay, Mike LaFleur, Chris Shula. They got the Niners, the Ravens, the Texans, which is another one. They had a really good first year. Can they repeat it? Packers, the Vikings at 10. Then they've got the Colts with Shane Steichen, Jim Bob Cooter, and Gus Bradley. All right. They got Sean McDermott, Joe Brady, Bob Babich of the Bills, 12. And then they got the Browns 13 with Stefanski, Dorsey, and Jim Schwartz. Their rationale, I'm not sold on the offensive changes Stefanski has deployed over the past couple of seasons. Got his first coach of the year, resuscitating Baker Mayfield's career, using heavy personnel, big rollouts, play action since then. Browns have increasingly become a spread and shotgun team. Stefanski gets credit for working around bad quarterbacks to keep the offense afloat last season, but hasn't found the secret sauce for overcoming Watson's poor play. Well, the secret sauce may be spreading it out and getting away from the heavy personnel. I mean, you have to match play with the personnel. So, and I've been critical of that. Again, I think it's low. Jim Schwartz was the coordinator of the year. He's regarded as a really good offensive coordinator. Stefanski's won Coach of the Year 2 times in his 4 seasons. You can say whatever you want about those awards, but ranking them 13th behind guys who have had success for 1 year, I got a little bit of a head scratch there.
I think they're very similar to the team you named at 10 in the Minnesota Vikings. Look, you've got an elite play caller as your head coach on offense and a very experienced defensive coordinator. You guys have Jim Schwartz, and the Vikings have Brian Flores. Very, very similar, not similar schemes, but very similar amounts of experience, right? And just dealing with veteran players, young players, all sorts of things. And they're clearly plus defensive coordinators. I think Stefanski, that part about, oh, well, he made the best of a bad situation. Well, there's not a ton of coaches that can do that. You look at, there was a lot of teams last year who had disasters at quarterback, whether it's injuries or ineffectiveness or all of that. And the only 2 that made the postseason really were the Browns and the Steelers, right? And the Browns won 11 games. If you told the Browns you're going to start P.J. Walker and Joe Flacco for a lot of this season and still win 11 games, that's a miracle, honestly. And I think it's a huge credit to Stefanski's play calling, right? They don't have the deepest receiving core in the league. You had the Nick Chubb injury. You had all the quarterback issues. You had all the offensive tackle issues. There's a lot of teams in the league that would have taken that same offense and won 5 or 6 games. I think Stefanski's one of the best play callers in the league, honestly. I think that's probably a top 10 coaching staff, at least equal with that Minnesota staff, who I think is a very similar staff.